Greetings ladies and gentlemen, I'm GC Smith and welcome to this episode of War on the Top, where we're going to be discussing the changes between 6th and 5th edition and how they've affected Tau specifically. And I have to my side a laptop which has the FAQ on, so I can consult that as we go along for this video. Now I want to start by saying that 6th edition has benefited Tau greatly, where 5th edition basically took Tau from a decent army to a crap army by way of run rules and basically nerfing shooting because of all the cover saves everything had. So effectively combat was the only real way for a lot of armies to win, and a lot of the armies that had combat had nothing but power weapons. Now Tau benefit a lot from the changes. Firstly, cover has mostly been nerfed. Yes, ruins are still 4+, but things like the jungles and the barricades all like 5 up now. So you need to have proper ruins and bastions and stuff to gain cover. Obviously, people can still gain things like use the barricades from the battle rulebook fortification slot, so they can add the Aegis defense line, which gives them a 4-up cover save, which has a +2 when you go to ground behind it instead of a +1. But otherwise, things like that have been completely nerfed. Secondly, with the way the rolling to wound allocations work, you allocate wounds to models in front, units that can take a mass amount of gun drones like crisis suits and stealth suits have gained massive benefits. And when we come to war, or when we come to a boot camp episode or whatever, when I discuss the actual tactics of the Tau army list and units and how they should be taken, things like taking mass gun drones are going to be really good for a lot of army units because of, or mass shield drones maybe, because a stupid load of shield drones. Secondly, with power weapons being nerfed, mostly to AP 3 and 4, things like broadsides won't be tied up in combat and won't be obliterated in combat. They may be tied up in combat, they won't be obliterated because they've got 2+ save. Most things can't hurt them. And then there are things like the captain rules, or champion rules, or character rules, whichever you want to call them, which allow things when you roll a wound on a 6, you can allocate that wound. Well, things like battlesuit teams, which have a commander in them, being able to take things like melter guns and fusion blasters, and missile pods and plasma guns, being able to allocate wounds on from one model in a unit is amazing. Now, there is an issue I do have actually, is the battle rulebook lists all battlesuit Shazver, which is the unit leader kind of type, as champions or characters, whereas the FAQ lists when we go to it, they list battlesuit bodyguard team, unit type infantry, jump jetpack. They don't add the character. Now obviously the FAQ is taking a precedent here, but why does the battlesuit team Shazver have jetpack character, whereas the Shazver doesn't? Is it the FAQ writers ignored the fact they're Shazver? I mean, the rulebook says they're Shazver, and the rulebook says they get champion or character rules. So obviously that's something I need to discuss with GW, and it may just be an oversight by the FAQ writer, because they are clearly Shazver. They pay the same point, they cost the same points as a Shazver. There's no reason why they can't be a character, and it would make quite a lethal unit, I believe. But things like that, with broadsides being Shazver, having a Shazver in a broadside team is a mega upgrade now. Being able to allocate a single strength 10 AP 1 wound, possibly to anyone in a unit. Yes, please. Oh wait, is that your toughness 4, low in run save character? Prepare to die, mate. Allocating things like that. Or, a stealth suit team with a fusion blaster on its team leader. Oh, sorry, roll dice. Oh look, you're dead. And allocate that wound to your, say, your melter gun or your power piston squad. Oh, you got rid of your power fist. Well, now you're not going to be able to really kill me in cover. There are generally great changes like that in Tau. They've really gone from being a bottom tier army to a mid, maybe even top tier army played well. They're still expensive to buy in cash. You're still going to use battlesuits, and battlesuits are still going to cost an arm and a leg to buy, like 12 quid per model. I think it's actually more than that, actually. Let's quickly check the GW site, because that's relevant to this talk, because a Tau army is only as good as what you can afford to buy. But a battlesuit army is by no means the most powerful army in the Tau. Well, it may be the most powerful one, but there's no means the only competitive list now. Crisis teams are powerful, but stealth teams are just as powerful as they used to be, and it's £15 for a Crisis battlesuit now, unlike the 12 it used to be. But Actually, what's this? Okay, that's interesting. Two metal ones are cheaper than... You can get 4 metal ones for effectively the same price as 3 plastic ones, but the plastic ones come marker lighting, whatever, for stealth suits. So, getting way ahead of myself there. But no, things like that are amazing. Yes, our tanks have taken a major hit. All tanks have taken a major hit, really, with how easy they are to glance to death and obliterate, especially armies like Necrons. But the town vehicles have something that no other army really has, and that's our disruption pods, which make us count as obscured. Now, obscured for most things is a 4-up cover save, but for anything that gives you equipment out in the open, it's a 5-up. The 5-up cover save that isn't ignored by things like what are they called? The Imperial Guard, Manticores. The Hydras. That's it. The Hydras used to ignore all cover saves. Now they only ignore Jinx saves. They don't ignore all cover saves, and the cover save provided by ours, well, we don't need to move to gain a cover save now. Whereas every skimmer will move and try and jink in that sense. Our characters have been made better, simply because they can all pick things out and obliterate them. And there are other bonuses they've gained, and things that have kind of nerfed other armies which keep our certain units powerful. But overall, Tau have become a very powerful I wouldn't say top tier army, but a very powerful army. Yes, some of the units will have a changed purpose, and I will come to that when I cover the units separately. But overall, Tau have gained mass amounts of power. For one thing, I will say Strength 5 is amazing in this edition compared to other editions. Where before, glancing vehicles, you might immobilise it, you're probably most likely going to shake it or stun it. Now, you're most likely to do things like, I don't know, you'll take a hull point off. You won't damage the vehicle, but you'll take a hull point off. You've got a whole fireway squad that can move 6 inches and still fire 30 inches. So you've got 12, say, shots at an enemy unit. So you take 12 shots at an enemy Rhino, you'll maybe wreck it. You're going to wreck a Rhino with a fireway squad. Now, I will say that you don't always want to wreck vehicles, right? You do want to get them to a low point where you can wreck them later in the game. But that's a different kind of discussion. Think about that people can't assault directly out of a vehicle unless it's an assault vehicle anymore. So it may be you want to keep them in the vehicle so they can't assault you in their turn. Obliterating the vehicle gives them a chance to, they don't need to disembark. So there are things like that you need to consider when you construct a Tau army. But overall, Tau have gone from being a naff book to a really, really powerful book. Now, I do want to say that the rulebook has obliterated some things, and the FAQ, sorry. The FAQ has for some reason made target lock no longer have any effect. They go, yep, your target lock won't have any effect. So you can't use it to go from battlesuit or a 3-man battlesuit squad. You can't go, there's 3 battlesuits and this one's going to fire there, that one's there, that one there. They all have to fire at the same target. Now, it will possibly be put back in the next codex, but apparently they haven't balanced it around having that in this rulebook, and they don't want it to have it in this rule set at the moment. Now, you can argue against that all you want. Now, I will say Shadow Sun's advanced target lock still works as intended. They haven't got rid of that, which is good. But no, it's amazing. In fact, you don't even need Shaz Ver. You just need a team leader now to get character. Paying 5 points for a team leader. Oh, look, it's worth it now for what it was before. Before you got it for the extra leadership. Now you're paying it to be able to snipe pack enemy characters with a 30-inch strength 5 weapon. Okay, it's only AP 5, but still, it's really amazing, really powerful. Skyrim defense system. Also, things like sniper drone teams. People took them because they were snazzy. Now they're amazing. And I will go into why things like that are amazing now in the new rules when I go through in a boot camp, like kind of discussing actual individual units. This is just a general discussion of the army and kind of general changes. Things like preferred enemy have got better. There are ways to get preferred enemy. Heck, I can see a valid tactic of being a suicide ethereal. You take a suicide, you take a battlesuit command, actually have to take a suicide ethereal and throw them at the enemy. Just to get preferred enemy across your army. That is going to be nasty. Things like that. And there are going to be people that shoot it for the cheap victory points. Now, a smart player will ignore it and try to shoot other things. But then again, people will go, oh, well, you might make units run off the table. And you may well make units run off the table. And it is a risky tactic. But if it pays off big. And there are things like that you can do. Okay, that's not the way Tau should play. They shouldn't chuck their feels at enemy because the feels are the highest people, but it's ways they can do it. If an inferior, do models embarked in vehicles have to take a morale check? No. They don't. But you could argue they don't get the preferred enemy because it says any unit that takes a preferred enemy, takes a test, gets a preferred enemy, unless they've changed it, which I don't think they have. You've got Markalites. Markalites have become a vast, more important thing than before because you want them to equip your ability skill. Yes, they were important. They synergize the entire Tau army. But I will admit, I've never really used them. I've not seen many Tau players that use them all the time. Mostly likely they use them on, say, things like sniper teams that come with them. I always took them on firewall squads, and they did prove useful occasionally, but they were never amazing. But that's because cover, you only ever used it to get your ballistic skill up a point. There was no point using it on cover saves because the 4+ cover save, well, it takes a lot of points to get rid of it. Now, are they worth it? Heck yeah. I mean, okay, you can argue whether you can use them to increase Overwatch or shooting at flyers ballistic skill all you want, but to get rid of the enemy cover save for their flyers and vehicles to ensure they die? Yes, please. All these kind of things where they are going to be essential now. Markalites are going to be really powerful. And so therefore Pathfinders are going to be powerful. Or, if you're like me, and you play in a store and people don't really mind Forge World being used, because Forge World are Games Workshop and the rules say now, yeah, anyone can use them. Tournament organisers don't really accept them now, yet. Some tournaments do, but if you do, take Tetras. 4 heavy Markalite shots a turn. Yeah, they're amazing. And for 50 points per one, you get 2 for 30 quid from Forge World. They're amazing for their money and their points. For 100 points, you get 8 Markalite shots. How many points of Pathfinders would you have to pay? Well, 80 for the Devilfish alone. Now, I will say, drones now die. One big change, massively changed, is when a unit with drones on it dies, the drones die with it. But they do not count as an extra victory point. They removed the extra victory point thing, which is... Finally, they see sense. They finally see that drones on a vehicle are just effectively a gun upgrade at that point. They shouldn't count as an extra victory point. They're not a separate unit. And they've finally done that with this book. So I think this rule set has gone a long way to benefiting Tau. Things like Overwatch, a whole army of Strength 5 Overwatch rapid firing, a unit that charges in. Yes, please. Drones in the front rank to take the hits, and then you move in Initiative 3 so that you don't die to them. Yes, please. Crisis teams being able to snipe characters, jump around, 2d6 jump around, and then gain awesome cover saves, and just generally be annoying little gits. Yes, please. A piece of terrain we can take, the Sky Shield landing pad, or Tau looking version, that allows you to deep strike on it with no scatter. Yes, please. Armies that can't all reserve against you to stop you shooting them to bits, or can't all reserve anyway. Yes, please. Tau have been massively upgraded in this edition, and they're such an amazing book. Now, my other army, Black Templars, haven't fared so well, but I'm so glad at least one of my armies has been really powerful. Now, obviously, it could be they get a codex in a couple of months, and this time next year they get a new codex which nerfs them slightly, or actually gives them new toys that makes them slightly more fun. Not necessarily more powerful, but more options. Like I say, the Tau haven't got many options. I mean, compared to a lot of armies, they've only got 2 troops. Now, standard Space Marines have only got 2 troops. You could be Black Templars that only have 1 troop, unfortunately. You can tool it slightly differently, but it's still only got 1 troop. And a lot of the armies recently have now got, if they only have 2 troops, they have ways of making other units troops, or other force organisation charts. And I would like to see an army come out where we can take a full battlesuit army. I'd love to see that. Farsight making a full army battlesuits, because it makes sense for him to do that, because he loves battlesuits. Commander Shadow Sun, changing the way units work. Maybe making stealth suits troops. Yes, I'd love to see armies like that. So hopefully we'll get changes. And there are room to change. I mean, I can see in the next edition things like Tau Fire Warriors getting not necessarily special weapons, but special rules. There are a lot more special rules in the new edition, and I could see Tau technology giving them ways to get those special rules. I mean, Target Lock will most likely give it the rule that allows it to split fire or take passing a leadership test. I think that's what they will do when the new rules come. But they don't want to FAQ it because it wasn't worth its points on that basis, or people still wouldn't take it, or they wanted to work out quirks with Tau. Now, I will say the Tau haven't got any AA at the moment. The Skyray hasn't been FAQ'd to be an anti-aircraft weapon. The Skyray, which is one of the first anti-aircraft guns, really, you know, it was an anti-aircraft thing. That's what it was. It's a sky ray. It's not a hammerhead. It's a sky flipping ray designed to shoot down aircraft. So that I'm a bit miffed about. But overall, the Tau have got epic buffs. And if you read your rulebook, Tau firewalls can get stealth if the enemy is shooting at them from within 8 inches. That is given to them by their defensive grenades. Defensive grenades give you stealth if the enemy that's shooting you is within 8 inches of you. So that's a really nice special rule, in addition to getting rid of all charge bonus attacks. So it's like no bonus attacks for charging. That's nasty. Oh wait, do they still get their free initiative 10 attack when things like things like stop means attack? Maybe not. In which case, those are going to be really good upgrades to keep you alive for a little bit longer, to bring things like Crew in to kind of help mop up. Overall, the Tau have got a really nice upgrade. You can, it says, use marking lights on Overwatch, but you can't use them to fire a secret missile. And I will put a link to the FAQ in this chat below, in the description below the video, so please check there if you want it. Are gun drones that have been detached and able to contest objectives? Yes, they're able to contest objectives. Tau armies are really powerful now, and I look forward to seeing people fear me, or laugh at me. So they'll laugh at me, oh, you're using Tau. Yeah, I'm going to use Tau. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass until you cry. Sorry, Grey Knights, what's that with all your weaponry going to AP3? My broadsides can tie your units up no end. Not that I would use them for that, but that's one thing I could do. Just charge in to tie them up, because they can't get through my armour. Okay. But also, the fact is that things like combat got nerfed seriously in this edition, with power weapons and stuff. And Tau never relied on combat, and they've always relied on shooting. They're far more mobile than they used to be. Yes, armies like Space Marines are far more mobile. Yes, you can move in snapshot. But things like heavy units will still stay still. Yes, you can move models in the unit and say that model's staying still and not move it so it doesn't snapshot. It's individual models now, not like if you move one. Before it was move one model, the entire unit counts as move. Now it's only that model counts as moving. But Tau units are incredibly good. And they've got cheesy ways to abuse some of the special rules, like slow and purposeful's changed. Broadside battle suits are so much better for it. And the way they gain slow and purposeful actually allows them to still do things like Overwatch and Snapfire. You cannot do that if you're slow and purposeful otherwise. You can't Overwatch anyway. You can't Overwatch if you're slow and purposeful otherwise. Broadsides can, because of the way they gain slow and purposeful. They count as moving as slow and purposeful. Now, I will go into those kind of things when I cover the units separately, but there are some things like that which are amazing. You can force people to re-roll, immobilise and stuff. Yes, our vehicles, even the high-armoured ones, don't have 4 hull points. We have a vehicle higher armour than the Necron vehicle, and that Necron vehicle that has virtually no hull on the model gets 4 hull points, and we only get 3. But overall, we're not really all that worse for wear. Yes, we don't get AA. Yes, we don't have any aircraft in our book at the moment. But you can use Forge World. I mean, I'm going to be using Tetra. You might as well use a Barracuda. And actually, I will put a link to a Forge World downloadable thing that includes the rules for Tetras and stuff in this, for anyone that wants to use them. I'm nothing if not nice to people, and well, it's not me that's done it. It's their, it's their downloadable rules. But I want to help the Tau players here. I'm a Tau player, and I'm trying to help you guys by doing these videos. I'm trying to, get increased interest for the hobby, help people, give people information, and these kind of things. That if I can give you some little bits like downloadable data like that, it's not mine. Obviously, I will say it's all owned by Forge World. It's all owned by Games Workshop. None of this is mine. I don't work for any of those companies. I'm just advertising for them in the sense of, so you can get it and you can have access. You know that you can get the rules, because you don't need to buy a rulebook to get those. And that thing, I will quickly go to it, actually. Let's go to Forge World Tetra. Bear me a minute. Document. It contains not just... it contains Tetras, which is the first one. They can take things like target lock, again, gone. But it can take sensor spines, which ignore dangerous terrain. Really good in this edition. Their fast attack choice, really cool. And they also have a marker beacon that allows you to reroll scatter when you're deep striking line of sight of them. Remote sensor tower, which gives one unit the ability to reroll failed hit, basically makes their unit twin linked anyway, which is really good. Put a couple next to a thing. You've got all the new all the forged turrets of the hammerhead things, like the twin linked long barreled burst cannon, which is strength 6, AP 4, 36-inch range, assault 6, twin linked gun. It should be a strength, assault 20 or heavy 20. But it's not that bad. You get a twin link fusion blaster, cannon, which is a heavy 1 blast melter, which I think is going to be really nasty in this edition, or the heavy 4 strength 7. Okay, it's only AP 3 plasma cannon, heavy 4 twin linked. It goes upper strength, loses an AP, and doesn't blast, but you got the fusion cannon there, but it's not overheat either. And overheat on vehicles does exist now. Vehicles take an immediate loss of a hull point when they overheat, so that's nasty. The vehicle might kill itself on that basis, so do be understanding that the fact that we got those rules is quite good. You got the rules for the different kind of battle suits, so you can may upgrade your battle suits. You can take an XV-81, which includes a shoulder-mounted smart missile system, and then 2 hardpoint weapon systems. You can take an XV-84 battle suit, which includes a marker light and target lock. Okay, the target lock's not very good, but the marker light's amazing. And 3 hardpoint weapon systems. You can get an XV-89 battle suit, which increases the battle suit's armor save to 2+. Retrofitly uses iridium armor, but doesn't take up the 1 iridium armor upgrade you're allowed in your book. What else is there? You got the sentry turrets, so 25 points each before any upgrades, but 25 points each for a twin link burst cannon thing that takes up troop choice, and you can take 4 of them. These are really nice units. They're really nasty, and they can deep strike and take shield generators. You can take heavy gun drones, which are rather useful with all the burst cannons they've got. You take greater Narloks, which are monstrous creatures now, so they can take smash, so they can swap half of their attacks, so 3 attacks for 2, and become strength 10. These are things that can, you may want them in your army because they're monstrous creature and because they can take on Terminators with their AP2. And they strike before Terminator, Initiative 3, with things like +1 cover save in woods, their heavy support choice, so in one of the scenarios they can capture objectives. You've got the mounted one, which comes with a bolt thrower, which you can take a strength 5 AP, assault 1 blast, or you can take a twin link group, gun. All these kind of things are there for you in that in this update thing. It doesn't have the rules for the more gun drones. I will try and see if they're available on Forge World, downloadable. No, they're not available on their online. So you need to buy that. You get the rules from the rulebook. But the rulebook's quite nice, and it includes all the rules, and they're flyers. So use them, to kind of take out. They're cheap flyers. In fact, let's go to Forge World. How much are they per like 2 Remora gun drones? I might take them now because they're useful. To kill, they're AA, Towercraft. You get 2. And they're stealth fighters. These are they're going to be impossible to kill. They're going to be amazing. And they will probably be included in the new Imperial Armour flying book when it comes out later this month, or the end of the month. So again, look out for that. You might want to pick that up to get some fly rules for the Tau. Flies like Remora gun drones are going to be amazing, and I look forward. And they're actually really large flies. They're not mega large, but they're quite large for the model. And you get 2 of them for 33 quid. You get 2 Tetras for 33 quid. So those are 2 good things you can have in your army. And I think Remora might be heavy support or fast attack and whatever. So they both take the similar thing. So overall, hopefully I've been able to give you some information. I haven't gone too fast, and hopefully you'll look forward to my next video, which is going to be the Tau Boot Camp, and we'll probably start covering HQ choices, and then we'll go to troops, and then heavy HQ, elite troops, fast attack, heavy support. Go through that, then special characters. Then I might go through different things like weapon options and stuff. So hopefully you look forward to that video, and hopefully you've enjoyed this video. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, watching, please do like, and if you like it, subscribe if you like to see my videos. And I will say quickly now, I do video game videos. That was what I mainly did before 6th edition came out. In fact, I only did video game videos before 6th edition came out. So do check my channel for other things like World of Warcraft, Mr. Pandaria Beta, other games like that I've got. So do, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe so you can see other videos when they come out. Do comment, ask questions. What kind of things do you want me to try and answer with my Tau Codex and with the new rules? What kind of things do you want me to answer? Like, what units do you really want me to cover? Are there any questions concerning when I come to actually discussing units that you want me to answer, particularly when I discuss that unit? Please do comment below, and I will try and answer any questions I can. Also, if you're watching this and you don't play Tau, and you got any rules quizzes for other armies, I will try and answer them if I can. If you answer below, if you ask them below, sorry, I will try and answer them if I can. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, or you seeing me in the next video anyway. And I get to talk to you again. So see you later.